their stockholders will be happy. That's the name of this game now. So somewhere along that line of recycling human beings and of diminished hope, we have to be willing to make a stand. I would ask all of you to reconsider today, knowing that I'm preaching to the choir. I still would ask you to reconsider and see if there's anything you can do to make your reach extend a little longer today. Is there a place where you may reap a harvest from touching souls and hearts that you have not yet attempted? Is there any work that you have on a back burner, any writing? I hate to look at my sister for that one. Any writing that you know you are called to do and haven't done yet? Is there something that is unfinished that you are leaving in your wake today? I would just encourage you, as I'm encouraging myself, to do what has to be done, to continue to do what has to be done. Once again, I consider it an honor to speak before an audience of advocates. We speak before a room filled with people who know the value of a human life and who are willing to sacrifice to add to that value and are not complacent or not content with the continuing diminishing of human souls today. It's truly an honor for me. I thank you. Yeah.
We have about 15 minutes, stretching the time a little because we stretched it before we began. For you. Is there anyone who would like to contribute your thoughts or questions or anything at this point? We've taken you on several journeys. The connection, of course, comes back to us now. Yes, sir?
A question in reference to the Black Panther movement. At what point in history did it, in your opinion, turn into a negative, or was it ever negative in your opinion?
Absolutely.
About when you were a part of that movement?
So, as a young woman, very idealistic and believing in the goodness of people and believing that people were worth saving, and I still have that. It was a very painful experience for me to watch the deterioration of the Black Panther parties. And the moment it began was when Huey P. Newton moved into the housing on Lakeshore.
Penthouse.
The penthouse. Because we were a system of collectives. We were a system of collectives, and I know much has been written about, how women were treated, but I really never saw it. I was busy in the field doing my work, And I took the orders of the day because I believed in what I was doing. So I stopped my university. I caused havoc in my family. My husband was upset. My mother was upset. Everybody was upset. But I could not help myself because I wanted people to live. And the more I learned, the more unhappy I was about the injustice in the world. But when Huey P. Newton took his place in the penthouse, and we were all putting all our money, all of our money into our collectives, then I thought, well, how can I bring all my money here, and then some of that money is siphoned off so that he can live in a penthouse? So I began to have a problem, because I believed in the work, but I didn't like that inequity that I began to see. And then I saw that in that penthouse, many things were happening that were not supposed to be happening for someone who was dedicated to the survival of the people. Because as we know, we have to live what we teach. There's no sense in me coming here talking about restoration and I go out and hurt somebody. I have to be about what I teach, right? So at that point, he began to deviate from the teachings of the party. And then that, combined with the fact that we were overrun by informants, was enough to knock us down.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? So we're at a conference about teaching, and I think what our panel was trying to do today was to give us all a sense of energy and focus on, so that we can do the fight that we have to do to make the schools what they need to be for our kids, because are they now? Of course they're not. And is that because teachers are bad or because parents aren't raising their kids well? Heavens no. It's because the system that we've been talking about our own experiences in is not designed for our children. It's designed to make cogs and machines. And we are here so that we can help to make that change. From inside, as some of us have spent our lives doing, and from outside. So anybody else, any comments?
Can I just add, please, that the children that we're here to help grow up, some actually much taller than I, and they become adults. And those are the students that I was fortunate enough to teach and learn from. And these people, many had gone through the system and knew for sure that they weren't worth it. They weren't as good as the kids that got to go to college. They weren't as good, and they knew it. But I will tell you, it's a scientific fact that each student that graduated our program walked out about this much taller. About this much taller, because they were going into a nursing profession. They were going to help people. And they knew that they were not the same people that walked into that class. So I hear all that, the talk that we are doing about the children. Well, the children may be 40 years old when they come to you for help. They may be 50 years old. I have one who was 65 going through the program. We're all children. So thank you all for all you do, and just remember that children, the age of children doesn't stop at 18 or 21. Thank you.
I just have to add, because this sister of mine has also been a teacher, as have other people in this room. This one took on teaching people who could otherwise have just been completely, have wasted lives. And she helped, she created a classroom of joy and confidence among people who are similar to the ones that this sister of mine has worked with. We're all in this together. We're all in this together. Anyone else? Okay, well, on that note, I want to commend to you a couple of books that I promised that one of the authors that I would recommend. The first one, though, is Michelle Alexander's book, The New Jim Crow. It's the subtitle of that is Mass Incarceration in the Days of Colorblindness, which we know we are not living in. Colorblindness in quotation marks. It's an incredibly important book, and not just the introduction, which I read by itself a while ago, but the last chapter is called The Fire This Time. It's a reference to James Baldwin's writing, The Fire Next Time. It's not a next time now. And the theme of that is all of us or none of us. We're all in this together. The other books I just recently came across, I'm completely empowered by, and there's an author named Sharon Ewell Foster, who has written a 2-volume book called The Resurrection of Nat Turner. You know the book. She is incredible, and she speaks in a voice very similar to the voices of our 2 faith-based sisters here. These books are not just about history, which is important in and of itself, but they are also a call to us that we all need to be standing up together, and if we do, we are doing God's work, and we are doing people's work, and we are doing the work of our planet, and we can do it. So, and Joan's book, this is a powerful piece. I have used this myself, and I really love it, and I'm really glad that she brought it. And we have a few minutes to mingle, so.
I brought mine as well.
Yeah. Okay, we have an incredible elder here, another retired teacher with whom we were in high school together. This is
Okay, I was wondering, has anyone here heard of, remember, or saw the movie Coach Carter?
Oh, yes.
All right, well, I want to let you know that the principal behind Coach Carter is in the house right now. Her name is Haiti Faust, and she was the one, not the principal they had on. Stand up, Miss Faust. She is not the one that they had on the television, but she made it possible at Richmond High School for all those things that happened in Coach Carter. Please stand up.
Don't believe everything you see in the movies. Because when Coach Carter came to me as his principal and said, we need to lock the gym and focus the players on being scholar athletes. Well, I'm totally for that. Had he done that without my permission, the principal, the headline would have read Coach fired. So we were in on it together. And by the time I got down to be an extra in the movie, they had picked the girl that played in the movie Ray, one of the first nightclub owners that took advantage of him. And she thanked me for allowing her to play that role because she was doing a lot of extra stuff and this launched her on her career. But anyway, where I'm going with this is to say that when I was going to meet Samuel L. Jackson, who played Coach Carter, I was all nervous. What am I going to say when I meet Sam? What am I going to say? So before I could say anything to him, he said, I know who you are. I said, you do? He said, you're the principal. I said, well, why did you portray me as the evil being in the movie? He said, in Hollywood, there always has to be forces of good and evil to sell the movie. So I got stuck. It damaged my career. It's a piece of crap. But most of it, some of it was true.
I don't give myself a commercial. But I also penned a book when I was still working, Diary of an Inner City Teacher. So, and I too am going to get back to writing, because we all have a story. But yes, and I too feel very honored. I agree with Minister Dawson here because you certainly closed us out with a nice word of encouragement, and I certainly hope that we're all inspired to go back and do what we can, like in our own communities, and all hands on deck. Yeah, that's right.
What is the book about? What is the book about?
Diary of, this is about, it's a year, a classroom year experience of,